Da 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 da. It's been over a month. Madame Askew and the Grand Arbiter, thought to be dead, have risen from the convention grave to seek vengeance against death itself. It's Madame Askew and the Grand Arbiter with our very special guest star, Piper J. Drake. Woo! 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 Welcome everyone to our lovely tea time. Madame Askew and myself have been going absolutely bananas, traveling the country, doing conventions all over creation, and we had to catch up with our very dear friend Piper J. Drake, writer to the stars, seeker of love and justice, and world traveler. Lovely to see you, my dear.
Oh, lovely to hear you, my friends. And
It's
hello in the
so
comments. I see
good.
June Chase has already said
Hello.
hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Lady
Um,
June Spell. First here.
It's
So
been
good.
too long, Piper. I know
It has
Madam
been.
has been out here prophetizing your works, really
Oh,
being
thank you
like
so much.
plain. She's like, these fangs, they gleam with brightness, is my understanding.
That's
That is
correct.
quite possibly the sauciest book I have ever endeavored to write as well,
I
Yes.
mean,
as addressing a lot of really interesting, heavy thoughts too.
It's such a beautiful series.
Well, thank
It's
you.
so good. I do need everyone to read your Mythwoven books because I want to gossip with people about them. So I just need them to get on board. Also, hello, hello. It's wonderful. And thank you very much for the compliments on the costume at Worldcon. It was really fun to wear it there. And we are going to talk about some of our adventures, of course, from the last month because we've all had a very adventuresome August. And the Grand Arbiter, as you so kindly mentioned, we have been gone from our live stream for a whole month, which is madness. We never take a break like that, so it feels very weird to like be gone so long, and it's so lovely to be back and get to celebrate returning with you as our special guest, our very secret special guest that we got to like
September guest.
surprise people. It's so
September.
lovely.
It's also pretty auspicious because we're heading into spooky season, and
Oh,
We
you
are.
love spooky season.
I do. And
You're a
I
big.
believe both of you do.
oh
I
I
mean,
yes.
absolutely love
we're
spooky
all
season.
gay. We're all gay to some degree, and that really we got to get ready for gay Halloween or gay Christmas.
Yes.
Great
All
Halloween,
right.
gay Christmas.
But no, for reals though, like Piper, what
Hmm.
is your sort of like favorite element of the spooky season that you look
Oh,
forward to every year?
it comes as no surprise to anyone. My favorite element is playing with foods because it is so much fun to embrace the harvest and celebrate the harvest
Mm,
and give thanks during
mm.
the harvest with taking the harvest and enjoying it either fresh or cooked and into comfort foods. I am personally not a pumpkin latte girl. I'm very much a hot apple cider girl.
Ooh,
Not
all
I'm
right.
not
We
I'm
respect
not
apple
bagging
cider
on pumpkin
discount.
lattes at all, but what I do
Huh.
love to do is I have a recipe for sourdough pull-apart bread with pumpkin, pureed pumpkin incorporated in
Ooh,
the dough. And so this
ooh.
pull-apart bread ends up light and fluffy with a slight tang of sourdough and that really wonderful, rich, pumpkin-y kind of taste to it, and just a hint of your favorite pumpkin pie spices. I don't like it when pie spice is the only thing you taste, right? Like I love
Oh,
real pumpkin flavor. So I very much love bakes that incorporate not just apples, but like, the occasional really great pumpkin bread or pumpkin pie kind of situation. Ah, I love the food
no,
when it comes to
that.
heading into
Mm,
that witchy Halloween thing and really exploring with fresh herbs, dried herbs, tisanes from the
oh,
harvest.
oh.
Ah,
Oh,
That's my favorite way to go into Halloween and the Day of the Dead, and just the deep autumn heading in, and preparing and preserving, getting ready for the cold winter months, especially when we're going to head into the longest night, and we need all of those things we prepared during spooky season
yes.
to get us through.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that you just made me so hungry and so distracted. It sounds just incredible. I want to eat that bread so much. I'm not going to lie. It just
I
sounds
am
so
very happy to
delicious.
pass on the recipe to you, and if
I
you
mean,
have a friend with a sourdough
the,
starter,
the lust in her eyes grew 10 sizes that day.
It's true. It's
So,
true.
and she doesn't get to bake as much, so a simple bake is very attractive to her right now.
I
That's
don't know if it
also
is a
true.
simple bake because it is a pull apart bed, but it does involve sourdough, and
Well, and
sourdough requires coaching.
oh my gosh. I love this. Look, also, apparently we're a little bit haunted, a little bit cursed. Hello, Sterling. I love that we're sending out weird notifications.
No, it's
We're having
telling her that her brother also follows us.
oh, how well,
His
that's
brother's
nice.
friend follows us. And
Brother's
now it's like,
friends.
how
So
do
we've
you
got 6
know
degrees of
Madam Q, the
situation.
Grand Arbiter? And
Yes,
then
it
So
is a
who
Kevin
is it
Bacon
with
situation with
you?
the 6 degrees.
I'm so
So
excited to see everyone. It's very
yes.
delightful to be back. We went through a good tribulation, a lot of work that was going on, a lot of travel, a lot of adventures, a lot of challenges. Brothers, friends, cousins, dog. That is the chain of truth. Madam, are you so high pitched laughing that we can't hear you anymore?
I think she went on
Okay.
mute. Okay.
No, she's just laughing so hard that we can't hear her anymore.
Like a dog. The dogs
Like,
can hear me there.
um,
I'm laughing at the
so
dog register.
so as we move, I'm just going to move us into our topic of the day so we can get a
Yes.
little bit into that because we have lots to
Yes.
discuss with Piper, but we're going to save that till the end so that everyone leaves with all the knowledge about what is going on with Piper J. Drake and where your illustrious books can be purchased with filthy Luca.
Ooh, ooh,
Um,
ooh.
So Madam Askew and I, we just got back from Worldcon, and then Madam Askew decided to throw herself into another convention, Tucson Comic Con, and I made the illustrious decision to do 1 day of PAX because I'm smart. That is the
Whilst we
appropriate amount of time for PAX is 1 day.
one day, and while we were doing that like gremlins, you went to Japan to an
I did.
onsen, right?
Yes,
Oh,
I must make confessions to the public, and this is
yes.
content warning, very difficult topic. I was originally going to be a panelist on Worldcon, and I had to decline early on when I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and it became realized that because of the extent of chemotherapy that I would be taking, followed by a phase of immunotherapy, my immunocompromised system, it was not advisable for me to be around as many people as Worldcon presented. And I was very, very sad, very sad. And so I was thinking about what did I want to do in August, since I would no longer be seeing some of my dearest friends at Worldcon in the city in which, I live.
Yes.
It was very, very difficult because for those of you who don't know, I am a digital nomad. I have a home base in which I'm based out of Seattle, but I also have a secondary home base in Bangkok, Thailand. So the decision was made that I would not go to Worldcon. And then my siblings, because of my related diagnosis and the knowledge that I wanted to make memories with them while I still could, my siblings surprised me and they met me in Japan. So both of them live in the US. One is very, very much on the farthest east coast of East Coast Northeast, and the other is down in Texas. And they both popped over to Japan and met me and my partner, Matthew J. Drake. And we explore Japan based on the onsen or the hot spring experience, which has been a desire of mine for ages and ages and ages. And previously, I only ever had the time or the opportunity to go to Japan because of my life sciences day job. So I was in Tokyo with very long business hours and just able to go around Tokyo for experiences. So this time we spent almost 3 weeks, like maybe just short of 3 weeks in Japan, traveling from hot spring to hot spring, including Kyoto, Hakone, Atame, and Kusatsu, as well as spending time in Tokyo during some of the best Pokemon Go raids you could ever have. And all of my siblings and I play Pokemon Go together. So it was a really fun mixture of things while you all were at Worldcon.
You know,
Well, and we missed you terribly. Madam
true.
Askew and I talked about it a lot. We were really bummed, but we understood and respected what was going on, and we are so glad you got to have your own adventure. Madam Askew has also things she wants to say, so I'm going to stop talking now.
Well, no, I mean, it was hard, like differently hard, of course, for us, but there was an absolute hole in our experience, a Piper-shaped hole, where we were like, oh, Piper was supposed to be here doing this thing with us. And the whole reason we went to Worldcon was really because you and Gail basically were like, you're going to Worldcon.
And you're going to be on panel.
Yes.
We were like, yes, you're not just going, you are going to be on panel and you're going to spread your charm across everyone who attends these panels and more. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think
was very
did accomplish that goal. I think the one thing I would have liked, I think our panels in general were very successful. We had one super successful panel. I think the biggest challenge that we had was that I think it would have been better for us to have at least one more academic fun panel. And we really only had the one academic fun panel. We had two very successful panels that I think were like very successful that we put together all by ourselves. But I still wish that we had been able to do some of the more wacky panels that were available. But next time, or whatever happens next.
I mean, you can always set it up virtual and do a wacky, fun, nerdy virtual panel.
You know what? We're going to have to do a virtual panel with you someday, Piper, in the near future.
Yes.
We're gonna have to put something
I am
together.
game. It will always be interesting what the topics will be.
I feel strongly.
Let's talk about the nerdiness here. I chose this class for our discussion here. This is a Pokemon. I can't even remember which Pokemon it is. It is a plant-based Pokemon. But for you, who is a kitty?
It's a kitty. It's
because
really
you were asking me about kitties earlier.
It's very cute.
One of my favorites. It's one of my favorite Pokemon. I love that one.
I think that my favorite thing about it is that it's the most punny pun name. It's Spring Tito. And it's got the word gato in it. That's just cute.
It's so cute. I love that one. Anytime I see it, I have to catch it. And it's just so green. It's so green. Also, hello, Wendy. Hello, everyone. We dove right into the conversation. We're here with the inimitable Piper J. Drake, our friend and author extraordinaire. Currently, you're in the trenches, right?
A weapon beyond compare. as Lord Aspen would say, a weapon to surpass the Metal Gear.
Oh my goodness. But no, you are
making a very silly joke.
I believe you.
Yes.
I don't.
You're digging deep with it, though. You're digging deep with it.
I believe you that it's a joke. I was like, that's a joke. I can tell.
It is a joke. So, Madam Askew, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I feel like this is the single most important thing that happened at Worldcon. So I believe that you are now a world award-winning seamstress, a global superstar of costuming. That's what I heard. I got a memo. It says it was official. It's officially, you are that bitch.
You have been recognized on a
global
platform
as that bitch. I'm so sorry.
So yes, I did win Best in Show for craftsmanship at Worldcon. I've definitely posted about it. I shared at length for Patreon. I went into a lot of detail, and I also shared my build book for Patreon subscribers because I'm very proud of my build book, all 22 pages of it. Also, thank you, Cheshire, who we got to see and hug and hang out with at show the trophy. All right, look, patience, and I shall go get it in a moment, and I will leave you with Piper and the Grand Arbiter whilst I go get the trophy. Because I did not bring it to put it lives by my bed where I can
Well,
gaze upon it.
as we've
I'll go get
discussed
them.
before, if those who are watching at TikTok, I feel like that TikTok that I posted about Madam is quite realistic about her not being able to get out of bed without hugging the award. Did you see that one?
It's well deserved. I did. It was adorable. And also, I want to address Cheshire real quick because there have been a couple of comments that I would try to join the chat and YouTube decided to be funky on me. But a couple of the questions comments Cheshire made is yes, cancer is very isolating and I refuse to be isolated. Wonderful internet. But also, radiation does make me lethal. You're not wrong about that because I had a PET scan just 2 days ago and they have to inject you with basically, this is very dumbed down, but a sugar syrup in which the sugar molecules have been adjusted to have a radioactive isotope attached to the sugar molecules. And that's how PET scans work, is that they've injected you with this and then your cells take it and eat it up. And it turns out the cancer cells eat them up way faster because they're greedy bitches. Ooh, is that okay?
They're very greedy. It's very true.
They're very greedy. And so I had radiation in me for at least 24 hours. And I was told upon leaving, please don't hug any pregnant women or children. Pets are fine. And I was like, how dare? If I cannot hug a child, I cannot hug my pet for the same endangerment reasons. How dare? And they said, it's fine to hug old people too. And I'm like, why? Yes, exactly. So Cheshire gets it. And I thank you for that. But yes, I was radioactive this week. And yes, PET scans, my goodness. And for those of you who get into the kinkier side of saucy, let's just say being strapped in for a PET scan, depending on where you go, can be quite the wild ride, whether it's your kink or not, because, you have to lay still and have your arms up above you. And then they use rather sturdy Velcro to cuff you so that you don't move your arms and that they use it across your head so you don't move your head.
Tubes yet? Have you seen those baby tubes when they have to do a baby PET scan?
Right? Like they're like the child down and little baby's like, ah, yes. So PET scans are quite the thing because you are strapped thoroughly to this platform so that you don't move, so that you get a very, very good picture and you don't have to retake. And then they slide you in and out of the orifice of this machine several times.
It's very wild. We've got a lot of folks who going through similar experiences. I am glad to say that we were able to meet Cheshire in person at Worldcon, which was really incredible. It was a really special moment for all of us. I know it's been really challenging because Askew and I have been sort of crazy busy. And so we're not as available on our streams and stuff. And so it's been really nice to connect with people in person. And I'm just really glad that folks are able to be present and be a part of our streams again. It's lovely to see all of you here. It's really important for us. And we're just so glad to share our friend Piper with you today. So Piper, on the onsen, what do you think was like, when you're like doing the onsen, what was the part where you were like, this is the secret must not miss experience? Like the one that's like, oh, it seems really trivial, but no, it's so important.
Okay, I'm going to very lightly say this, and then I'm going to get into some detail. So buckle up.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Okay, well, I'm buckling. Wait, I got to buckle all my buckles.
My absolute... For those who are Pokemon Go players, there is nothing like waking up first thing in the morning when the chill is just in the air, just before it becomes really summery hot, getting into an outdoor onsen and doing a couple of raids. with your little sister. Yeah, we were playing Pokemon Go in the hot springs completely naked because both of our phones are water resistant to 3 meters. So we figured if we dropped our phones in the onsen, we could we could rescue them and put them up to dry. We were in Japan. There's plenty of rice. So
Plenty
we
of
were playing
rice.
Pokemon. When you drop an electronic in water, it's very, very, very effective to use rice to absorb the water around it and help the electronic dry out. And since our phones were resistant, the only thing you have to worry about is the actual charging jack, and waiting for that to dry so before you try to charge the phone again. And no one wants to deal with a dead phone. So various different solutions for that. So that's the wild part. The other part is just the experience of a hot spring bath in general. They have them in the US and they approach them in a different way. I've been to one in Montana. I've been to a couple in San Francisco. But one of the things, my first onsen experience, a friend of mine came and got me in Japan when I was there for very much an otaku kind of anime idol experience. We were there for a Mizuki Nana concert at Saibu Dome. And it just so happened the next day, a friend of mine who lives in Japan, she took me to my first onsen. And this is kind of a touristy one in Odaiba. It doesn't exist anymore. This was pre-pandemic. But it's right near where the Gundam is in Odaiba. And she taught me how
Where they
to go
parked
through the
the
experience.
Gundam. Very easily to find location where they parked the Gundam.
I mean, one of them. Now there's more. But like you can figure it out. Say you use the search of Odaiba and Gundam and then Hot Spring, and you would have been able to find this place when it was open. It's very large. 15 hot spring pools of various temperatures and mineral content, inside and outside, like quite extravagant. But having a Japanese friend walk me through this really, really helped because otherwise, you may not be familiar or comfortable with it. And you can actually do this like literally passing through Haneda Airport as well, because there's a great hot spring at Haneda Airport if you have a long layover, where they'll hold your luggage for you and you can completely do all this. But so you come in and there's an outside locker, you put your shoes in that, walk through, gather towels, robes, and you use a locker to divest yourself of all your clothes. And you do not wear the robe. You just have a tiny little towel, which depending on how you were built, it may or
Bless.
may not cover. It's not intended to cover, right? And then you find your way to these wonderful little stalls that have a nice little stool and wonderful shower heads with lovely water pressure and various products, and you wash every nook and cranny. And when I say every, I mean you wash your hair, you wash all your bits of all of the day's travel and sweat and lotions and oils and everything and whatever else that may have accumulated in your nooks and crannies through the course of the day. Be clean, friends. Be squeaky clean. And once you're squeaky clean, you scamper off with this towel and find a cold pool. And you do not dip the towel in the cold pool. You take a little bucket and you cool the towel and wring it out over here, not in the water, over here, right? And then you use that on your head so you do not pass out. And then you go choose your temperature of hot springs and you soak and you let the stress and anxiety and muscle aches that have accumulated over however long it's been since you've had any kind of self-care at all melt out of your bones. Just melt.
So what we're saying is that the next Tuck Chuck Tingle book should be how the onsen fucked my brains out is the next.
Exactly. I mean, and you can it could be a group fuck because like there's so many different pools with different temperature contents, indoors, outdoors. There at Haneda Airport, there's also one with jets in case you need like multiple stimulation points.
Whatever one needs. Cheshire asked an interesting question that you may or may not have an answer to. But are there any tattoo-friendly onsens that you have any suggestions on? Did you find anything you're really into?
This was actually a challenge for us because, again, my siblings met me in Japan this past month in 3 weeks. My brother has, ever since he left he finished with the Air Force Academy, a dragon tattoo the size of his shoulder blade. And somehow between Thanksgiving last year and the summer this year, he has managed to get an entire sleeve. I knew
Oh.
he was beginning it, but like it's a sleeve now. So that's hard to hide. There are many onsen now that have flesh colored stickers that will cover various sizes of tattoos, and therefore if you cover it, you can then go in the onsen. The idea here is that there won't be any concern about ink or wound situations with the tattoo, and other people won't just see the tattoo glaring at them and trigger various societal thought processes.
I mean,
Um,
Japan's a lovely place in lots of ways. It is still a deeply conservative country.
it really, really is. But like, it's just the sticker game is there for quite a lot of the smaller tattoos. But for my brother's situation, that was no number of stickers was going to hide all that. So we did kind of this is the bougie way to do it is we booked a really incredibly exclusive ryokan for it, and we had a private onsen in our hotel room suite. The first one was outdoors, and so we had like this lovely suite of rooms and bathroom, and walked out on the back deck, and there was this gorgeous private onsen that we could enjoy as an experience. And what he found was no one really said anything to him as long as there was nobody in the public baths of the resort area. So he still got to enjoy the public ones too, which were very lovely, and like gardeny. So there are some that very, very specifically say no tattoos. And then there are some that you can opt for the private onsen if you have the budget. So definitely we're, my experience is definitely one that did rely on the fact that we are rather bougie creatures. So if you're going to try the onsen thing on a budget, you have to research the stickers, the flesh colored stickers that the onsens usually have, and also some of the other things. You'd find
we're very
that
bougie
more
creatures
in the
as well.
city.
Bougie recognizes bougie.
Of course.
Absolutely.
The poshness in me sees the poshness in you.
Thank you. I very much appreciate it. I have no shame, but I also have consideration, right? Like I try to let people know that this is, something you got a budget for.
Yes.
So we sidestepped that particular hurdle with the private onsen. And it wasn't just for my brother's tattoos. It was because out of consideration for my immunocompromised state, my doctors did not recommend that I do the public baths. Although they did scout the public baths, and when no one was in there, I scampered down to try out the public bath as well, because the experience of it is not to be missed. And it is not something that you videotape unless you're an influencer, and I am not. But I will tell you that it is beautiful, and the sounds, if you're someone who is very impacted, like those TikTok videos where they have the sounds on either side, many onsen gardens have a water feature over here and the bird play, so you get that sound input that the neurospices people in us really, really enjoy. So that was also a major bonus to the experience. And onsen of different mineral contents means that you have different buoyancies in the different hot springs.
Ooh, that's fun.
And no matter what, the warm temperature of a hot bath soak really helps with muscle aches, really helps with neuropathy, which I suffer after the chemo.
I can feel I can feel I feel like something growing. It's probably some kind of budget desire within Madame Askew for me to start plotting a Japanese trip at some point. Not this year,
but worth it.
The Grand Arbiter also knows that I have a secret desire. It's my dream to be big in Japan. And so to take tea dueling and all of our nonsense to Japan.
I was telling my little sister about tea dueling, and her mind was boggled because she loves biscotti and she loves biscuits, but she only likes them outside and then you sip the tea. She does not like a dunked biscuit. And so the concept of tea dueling and the strategy behind it was something where she was flummoxed, just trying to conceive of how this tea dueling would work. And I was like, oh, it's lovely. It's such a fun practice.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it is. It's so wild. I would say it's not at all like doing your regular tea, because I don't generally dunk my biscuits when I'm drinking tea just to enjoy it. I like my tea sort of on the, with the biscuits on the side, and I drink and then I eat, and they're separate entities. And I'm like our dear mutual friend Gail. I don't want crumbs in my tea. So, I
Exactly.
have that sort of situation.
Okay,
But
it's
for
high
the
time.
duel.
Show us the baby.
Oh,
You went
Show
and got
us
it.
the baby.
baby.
We started to a far afield with the crumbs in your tea, but we need to see the baby.
Do you
Here
feel?
it is.
Do you feel a certain level of like imposter syndrome died that day?
Yes, absolutely. Also, when I wake up and I look at it, it sort of reminds me that I did the thing, and that's very like validating. And it was like I felt sort of I have this concern, which I think many young women or many AFAB people who were raised to be good girls could relate to. I worry that I'm like allowing myself to brag too much about it. And so I have to like not be too effusive about how absolutely, completely over the moon and chuffed I am, because I am so chuffed. And then this is like, so this feels a little bit, pardon me everyone, this feels a little bit like people on the internet, but Amanda from Yesterqueers saw me posting about it and my experience, and I was like, I said something about like feeling still a bit overwhelmed and also not wanting to like brag too much. She's just like, no, you should be bursting with pride and you should talk about it. And so I'm trying to embrace that sort of energy about it. And so at Tucson Comic Con, I definitely wore my very massive ribbon. Look at this. It's like so
It's taller
long.
than you. It's taller
It's
than you.
I have to wear it up here, otherwise it will drag on the ground. And if I put it here, it touches the ground on me. So yes, it is like
It makes for a wonderful
almost,
sash.
it is. It's almost 5 feet long, and
Yeah.
it feels really good to wear it. So I wore it to Tucson Comic Con, and every time I would feel like, well, I'm just like, my cosplay is fine. Then I'd touch the sash. I'd be like, no, my cosplay is great. I'm award-winning, world-renowned. So it was really good to have that kind of like concrete reminder. And thank you everyone for your kind words and your compliments. And I could recycle the ribbon into a whole new dress. It's true. It could go on a hat.
It could be incorporated as a hat. It could be a ridiculous hat. Oh my goodness, just like one of Gail
Yes,
characters. It
right.
could be
No,
quite
this
a
is a
ridiculous hat.
very Ivy
There's a lot of things that are
situation.
going to happen, but I am just excited that we have gotten it. We had some great panels at Worldcon. We were able to do our Space, the Final Fashion House panel, which was excellent. We added a new feature, which worked out exactly as planned.
So good. And we will do this now forevermore with that panel, because it's our interactive game at the end of the panel in which everyone gets to submit their.
We keep it a little bit. You get just to submit a character, but we're not going to tell you why.
Yes, and then there is a thing that happens once you submit the characters, and it's very fun. So we're planning to do that again at TusCon this November here in Tucson. It was very exciting. And we had such fun with it at Worldcon. I think that was a highlight moment for both of us getting to do that panel.
I think it was our strongest panel, although compliment dueling was very successful thanks to the Canadians.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we had like a family of Canadians who came to the compliment duel, which was very fun. And they were very good sports about it when we explained that we actually did have a special rule because of Canadians.
And Cheshire will be joining us at TusCon.
Oh, very nice.
Good.
And I just got our hotels booked, so Madam Askew and I will be at hotel.
Yeah,
which is something that doesn't normally happen for TusCon, but it's a special TusCon. It's TusCon queer invasion.
That's correct.
We're just gonna make it. It's already pretty peculiar, but I just don't think it's reached our expected peaked levels of gay. So that was incredible. You had a really good. We had a really incredible time at Worldcon. It was actually fascinating because it was a very fast 5 days. You actually had the last day was pretty rough.
So this was the day that we ran into Cheshire and got to have sort of a little socializing. We were planning to take it a little bit light. We dressed light. And to be honest, you and Gail definitely did your utmost to prepare us, but there's no way to prepare for something like Worldcon because it is 5 very intense days of programming and wandering around and meeting all the people you love that you don't get to see otherwise, and
meeting new people.
And meeting new people. We did get to make some new lovely connections as well.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to that 5th day and we were walking towards the sort of vendor area, and we stopped by and visited with Madeline Holly Rosing from Boston Metaphysical Society, and we walked approximately 1 booth away, and I had to tell the Grand Arbiter that if I didn't sit within the next 30 seconds, I was going to pass out. I don't know. I assume everyone has this like inner knowledge that you can tell you're going to pass out, but maybe I've just done it enough where I'm like, it's coming for me.
I mean, you definitely have I have to tell you, you do have a Victorian sensibility about you where you have dramatic warnings, and then as we sit, you do the hand thing as you fall to your chair.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a lot of cool things that we've gotten to be able to do. You did Tucson Comic-Con after you got a little bit of con crud, but you survived. Congratulations.
I did,
and it was not COVID.
I was going to say, most importantly, I had planned it. I got my COVID booster 2 weeks before Worldcon, as well as my flu shot. I was as prepared as I could be. And so I did not get the flu or COVID, but I did get a terrible cold afterwards. And so I'm very grateful. We knew that, just as you knew, that Worldcon was full of people, and so full of the vortex of germs. We knew that too. And so I was not surprised, but I was glad that I had taken precautions going in, because everyone, COVID is not gone away. It is still very bad for you. It's a good idea to get vaccines, and lying is fine. So yes, anyway.
Moving on with that little Easter egg. That's just that little thing, we will not judge you. When it comes down to, no, we will not judge you in that manner. But yeah, no, con crud is ageless. As long as there have been cons, there has been con crud, regardless of what type. And there are various of us for which that could be more significantly detrimental than others. But no matter what, it's about trying to make sure to be as prepared, or having to make the difficult choice of not going. Which is a thing. And I will say that while, you were all going from con to con, I was going from hot spring to hot spring, which is its own travel kind of situation. We got to experience quite a lot of travel in Japan. We did the bullet train from Tokyo to Kyoto, and I got to try ekiben, which are the train bentos that you see. And Matthew J. Drake even got this very clever bento, which basically you pull a string, and that activates a heating element underneath the bento. So your bento in 6 minutes warms up to serving temperature while you're seated at the train. It's a chemical reaction with water. And I have it on video, right? Like he pulled a string, and then we started seeing steam venting out the one side, and we were like, this is a regular train lunch. And we were like, what happened? And then he opened it up, and we had a situation because it was not bulgo, it was gyudon, which is thinly sliced beef that's in a sauce kind of thing, cooked in a sauce with onions and stuff, served over rice, and it was served with a delicately not even barely soft boiled egg, but the egg was still intact. And I don't know if any of you have had eggs in other countries than the US. However, at least in Japan, the structural integrity of an eggshell is quite strong. Like there are some science classes in the US that will try to design a container so that if you drop the egg off of a roof of a school, the kid wins if the egg survives the crash, that kind of thing. But they're using US eggs. If they use Japanese eggs and the structural integrity of these eggs, I think the results would be different, because we're sitting there in the train with no utensils that are just specifically for cracking an egg that is delicately soft boiled. Like, you know, what's going to come out of here is going to come out of here almost like bloop. So we're all pondering this. And then he goes, I think there was a toothpick in my utensils and I dropped it on the ground. And I'm like, okay, well, give it to me. I'm going to problem solve this. And my bento had come with, yes, Gundam chickens, had come with chopsticks that you pulled apart. And so there was a thin end at the top, not the top that you eat with, but like at the top, at the back end. So I turned one of those over, structurally held the egg, and my sister held the tray steady, and I tapped it to carefully break the shell of the egg and managed to do it without breaking the membrane in a couple of spots so that it was just a large enough divot for him to get his thumbs in. And then he took it, and we videotaped this, and he was able to get his thumbs in there and crack the egg open. So it did this beautiful fall on top of his gyudon. And then he was able to take the video that you're always looking for as a content creator of piercing that yolk and letting it run into your rice.
Such a good time. What
it was such a group effort. And all these Japanese people who are very used to Ekiben and the bullet train and everything were looking at us as we were having this childlike wonder exploration of the situation. But it was very fun. I highly recommend that wherever you go, indulging in that kind of discovery is all a part of the magic of the trip.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Madam Askew and I have fallen into a really delightful, we call it delightful pattern, but it's really a enforcement from the the structure gaze that make up our trip strategy in Seattle. We don't have cute names for them yet, but they have they live in the Victoria House. So the gentleman boys of the Victoria House.
You've eaten with them. You know them. We've gone out. All of us.
They're very good cooks.
Of which they were very sad not to see you as well, and we will tell them we are required to tell you good tidings on their behalf.
Yes.
Thank you.
But we go on
just
adventures
for a moment, I'm going to address a question from Anne before we get too far away from the Ekiben situation. Yes. Matthew J. Drake happens to be military, and yes, it was heating like an MRE. He had mentioned that when we were experiencing the experience. So you are correct. Good guess. It was very much heating like an MRE, and he said it tasted one step better than your usual MRE, like a good MRE. And I love that line so much. It's actually in the final draft of the manuscript for the third book of the Mythwoven series, said by Thomas because of the military factor. It did not land well for Thomas. It landed better for Matthew J. Drake because we were talking. But it is in the book, and that has been turned into my editor. So yes, heating like an MRE is exactly what that Ekiben experience was like, only it tasted a little bit better.
So
good.
It's so exciting that you've got the Mythwoven books.
The third and final in the contract. The final contracted one. I don't know if there's a demand for more.
And again, for those who've come in a bit late, I'm going to implore you to join me in reading the Mythwoven series by Piper. It starts with Wings.
Would you all like to do a reread before the third book comes out once we have a release date?
Yes. Look,
maybe we'll do that next year. Once I have a release date, I will let you know, my dear Madam Askew, and maybe we will do a read along of those whole series.
Yes, I love that's such a good plan. It's so good. It's so good, everyone. I'm
I've also
obsessed with these
posted
books.
the Goodreads
So
link.
beautiful.
Press the Goodreads link for the series. So if you haven't
thank
heard
you.
of it yet, you can check it out.
And you can always find it on my website, piperjdrake.com. Very easy, with various ways to purchase it, depending on what suits you.
But yes, so the Victoria boys, the nesting gays, as we call them.
Indeed. I love that term. I hope nobody minds.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
I don't mind. Oh, Madam Askew and I are fighting, though. We both posted it at the same time. So we haven't done a read along before, but I think it's something that would be really interesting to do
Yes.
as
Yes.
a future project. One thing that
I'm
we
happy
have
to give you commentary. Like, it's almost like the
Ooh,
director's commentary track on a DVD.
director's
Wait,
cut.
are we too old for Blu-rays and DVDs?
No,
not in this
we're
crowd.
just
No.
old enough.
So yeah, we could do that as part of the read along. So you'll get
One of the
verbal
things that
annotations.
One of the things that Madam Askew and I have been discussing is that you all here at Madam Askew and the Grand Arbiter's Temporal Entourage, the folks that observe and enjoy our content, you are not merely limited to steampunk, and neither are we. And so as that is a thing, you should expect non-steampunk projects that come from us in the near future. That could be book club investigations, external, like additional to the steampunk book clubs, as well as other kinds of projects. Like I'm going to be doing a deep dive at, I've got to get ready, but I'm going to be doing a deep dive into magical girl anime at Tuscan.
I'm so here for that.
Yeah, it's going to be called Magical. It's the plot's going to, the panel's called Magical Girls, Magical Girls and the, oh God, what is it? I had it in my head and then it fell right out.
Magical Girls in the Sapphic Imagination.
Yes. Magical Girls in the Sapphic Imagination. So it'll be about the ways in which Sapphic romance impacts and has transformed the magical girl genre.
Oh my gosh, we have to go back to Sailor Moon. Hardcore look at Uranus and Saturn. And the dating contest in which they had to have the partners behind a wall, and they put their hand through the wall, and you have to let's say the butch presenting portion of the partnership had to recognize their partner's hand. And let me tell you, Uranus and Saturn, so incredibly romantic through that entire episode of knowing their partner. And that was so, oh my gosh, yes. And Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Yes. So just so that we get context, just so before we lose the train, if everyone wants to join me in a rewatch, I'll be doing rewatches all this next few weeks, not next few weeks, but in the next few months, I'll be doing rewatches in preparation. So the animes that we're going to be focusing on are Sailor Moon, Revolutionary Girl Utena, Madoka Magica, and Cardcaptor Sakura.
Cardcaptor Sakura. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That is an all-time favorite. All 3 seasons and the movies. And the best friend
series.
ever.
And the new series.
Oh yes, the new series I have not been watching yet. Don't spoil me.
It's only got 1 season right now, but it's very good.
True. Tomoyo-chan.
Oh, Tomoya. A lesbian burdened with bad decision making.
Yes. Okay, so there is also a mention of Triple X Holic spinoff there, and we have to talk about Tsubasa Chronicles and Triple X Holic and the crossovers in that.
Very good. Tsubasa Chronicles is very good.
The crossovers to.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, no, the crossovers to Tsubasa Chronicles were done so beautifully. It was masterful.
So I have a suggestion. Now we promised we would not invite you every week because that's too much. That's too much. And I understand I must have some restraint sometimes. But it would be really fun to have you back, I don't know, next month or in November to do a whole anime girl, magical girl episode of the show to really talk about, to warm people up, get them sort of
No, we could
jazzed
do
up for the
something like
next,
that. We'll put something on the
bit at
schedule.
TusCon, but also so we can go into the full depth of joy. And I'll ask questions because I'm the least informed of the two of you.
Subasa Chronicles is by Clamp. Clamp is it's a group of women artists. So it's not a single person.
The artistry is gloriously beautiful, and the storytelling is almost always
insane,
heavy on the tragic side.
It's just also insane. Also, they're beautifully well written, but like they don't have human proportions. They're the tallest, lankiest, weirdest shaped people in the world.
Because remember, the beauty aesthetic in Japan really, really leans heavily on the, oh my gosh, they have such long legs.
Yeah, it really is.
How many times have you read that in a manga or heard that in an anime? He has such long legs. She has such long legs. I do request an add to this list. Inu X Boku Secret Service. Because
that's definitely on the list. I think what we're hi Kubi, hello.
So this is Kubi. You know Kubi. Kubi is one of our Seattle gentlemen, and of course is still posting lots of beautiful food pictures on Blue Sky for you and Gail, right? Also, hello. Kevin,
I do see that there's a request for Avatar Korra and the Grand Arbiter. I leave that to your discretion.
I'm limiting myself to 5 because otherwise the panel will go on forever. I'm limiting myself to this 5. And I think it's because they're the strongest examples of the tropes I'm focusing on. And I do not think Avatar Korra falls into this category very well because Avatar Korra is not a magical girl in the same way that these other characters are. Her girlness is not her girlness is not a challenge or framework, but it doesn't have the same vibe as Japanese magical girl as a narrative. So it's like not quite the same thing. It's definitely a great queer love story. I'm hoping that we see more in the future because we're going to see more. We're going to learn more about her in the new series that's going to come out in the near future. We're going to learn more about her the long tail of her story. But I do think it's not appropriate for this project, but that does not make her not a lesbian. Let's put it that way.
I do think that there is an entire panel in the discussion of how much we love K-pop Demon Hunters, but the K-pop Demon Hunter girls comes from a different legacy of magical girlness than the Japanese magical girl discussion, right? So K-pop Demon Hunters, awesome. Yes. Not magical girls, but magical girls, but they come from a different root.
I also think that they're not magical girls in the same way because there's not this sort of like with magical girls as a framework. We can go into this in a different time, but
see, there's an entire panel discussion on it.
There's a very specific series of tropes that make the Japanese magical girl trope that's really key. And the thing that's missing is they don't have a magical girl transformation at all. And like that magical girl transformation, like they have like some outfit. They look great, but the magical girl transformation is really a defining feature of the genre.
Of the genre. Though Scone Mistress must give absolute nod because my Hime, not my Hime Atome, my Hime, and the way the impact of the one pair. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting everybody's name, but there's our dark haired character
and Natsuki.
Mai Hime it was so good, and Mai is obviously my favorite character for a lot of reasons. But the second lady lead, who has the canine child, is in a sapphic relationship, unknown because it's unrequited love, with the school president, and the school president almost has an incredibly obsessive desire for her that she doesn't find out till the end. And the impact of that and what that person will do for her it rocks you to your core. So that is, yes, the rebel and the school president. And the fact that the rebel is so clueless right up until the school president just absolutely steps in and does terrible things to protect the rebel. just that sapphic relationship and the the morality chain character of it is it's so impactful. It's
Mm, mm.
fantastic all on its own. It doesn't fit in your panel, my dear Grand Arbiter. It doesn't. It won't. But it is a great example. Like,
It is a great
honorable
example. The reason I'm using Madoka Magica above all others is that it's contemporary in the current, like, last 10 years.
Did
Which
you just say that Hime isn't contemporary and you're using Cardcaptor Sakura and
I
Revolutionary
mean,
Girl?
I am using one over the other. I also watched Cardcaptor Sakura in an obsession fashion as a young gay boy.
Fair.
They're all
Fair.
serving different purposes for me. They're all serving different purposes.
And
But there's so many
yeah.
great magical girls with queer love interests that you can't escape it. It's an inescapable trope.
And for my bis, my darling friend bis, fellow queers, right? You know, for my fellow queer bis, tell me that Shaoran and Tomoyo-chan aren't quite the, you know, the bi, why not both? Why choose both when you're
It
that
really
young?
is that
There's
both.
opportunity as you grow.
Oh, I love this. Pokemon are magical girls.
I mean, we could make arguments, I suppose. But Madoka does have a new movie coming out this year. That's what I mean by it.
Yes, Madoka is it's relevant in the same way that you know, any author will tell you the best way to refresh your career and promote all of your books is to write another book. In the same way,
Yes.
anime is like, get another season out there, get another episode out there, get another movie out there, get another
Yes.
AMV out there.
With that, we are reaching time. So what we're going to do now, it's that time. We're at 7:30. I don't mean to be that way. However, I have a very hungry husband who will make grumpy faces if we do not deal with it. But let's talk really quickly about what we can expect from you in the next, let's say, few months. What are we working on book-wise? And what
are we working on?
What should we get excited about?
To be very real, my dear friends, I am writing because I am, in fact, running out of time. I have turned in Mythwoven Book 3 to my editor, and they are now currently looking at the release schedule to figure out a release date. Once we do, we will let you know. My newsletter is still the best way to find that out. You can sign up for my newsletter for that. I have immediately dove into writing an entirely new fantasy series that we will be putting out on submission for Trad from the big 5 publishers. And that, just to give you a little taster idea, is currently kind of a dark academia setting. It involves dragons and dragon riders in bonding. However, the dragons are not verbal. There's not that telepathic connection. So I get to play a lot with animals and creatures and their expressions without the benefit of a telepathic bond. And that can get quite fun. Anybody who's ever lived with a large dog will understand me. And we have a heroine who is steeped in Thai mythology. And that is very, very key to how she becomes the only person who can help our hero. But there's also very, very, for lovers of K-dramas, you're going to experience a lot of your favorite moments, like the crash into you moment, like the beats that people love so much from Hanayori Dango, for the Japanese manga viewers who that really, really, it became so popular. It got turned into the very popular K-drama, Boys Over Flowers, but without the bullying elements, because I'm not here for bullying romance personally. It's a great genre. It's just not mine. So I am working on that, and I am writing that as fast as I can. I hope to finish that manuscript by the end of the year. But in the meantime, for those of you who like my existing series, I am writing another very short novella, which is a paranormal cozy mystery that will be the next in the Mystic Bookstore series. So you can read The Ink That Bleeds for Halloween if you like.
Yes, yes.
And A Howl in the Sound will come out early spring next year. The title is Compliments of our dear friend Gail Carriger, so you can all imagine her brainstorming with me and wafting down a corridor going, a howl in the sound. So that is coming. And then I am also starting a new indie project, which is a cozy fantasy. And that cozy fantasy has vibes of Delicious in Dungeon, as well as vibes of Legends and Latte. So lovers of those will probably love this cozy fantasy series. And so I am currently debating how I'm going to open this up for beta read, so that you can get it, and considering if there's enough demand, potentially releasing this serial on my Patreon. So I
Ooh.
will have to ask Madame Askew and the Dear Grand Arbiter to brainstorm with me as to whether that seems plausible and what kind of logistics behind the scenes would be needed to make sure that that
Yes.
happens at the best quality. Because I am not asking you to be patient, since I don't have the time to be patient. So I'm going to write and try to make it available to you in the best way possible.
So here's
Piper,
what.
oh,
Go
go ahead,
ahead.
Brenda.
No,
Oh,
you first.
all right. We're fighting. Not really. Piper, we'll definitely have that conversation, absolutely and happily. But also, I don't want to be too like morose or anything, but I do see
Moderate
you
even.
pouring yourself into your art, and uh, it's so wonderful to have that experience with you as your friend, and to be cheering you on for every word, and to be so excited for what you're creating, because you know what, you are just sort of sucking the marrow out of life. And I would like it to be under different circumstances. I know you would even more
I'm
than I.
stepping in now. I'm
But
stepping in now.
I'm just saying, and then you can jump in. But
Okay.
I love that you are using your energy to write, and I cannot wait. Like Cheshire, I'm going to read the absolute shit out of everything you write. So I'm very excited for every
Thank
word.
you.
All right, now you can jump
Speaking
in, Grand
of
Arbiter.
this, what can we do as a community to support you as we move forward? We are all we are all avidly trying to support you as you move forward. I'm living in delusion, so that's where I'm going to live. That's my plan. My strategy is going to be just living in a little bit of delusion and just treating it as like, you tell me what you need and we're going to provide it. So you tell us what you need from the community. What kind of support do you need right now more than anything? What do you want and what do you need from us?
I love you. I love you both. I love all of the people here. I would say I do not ask for help well. I will tell you very openly that my therapist actually gave me the hardest homework my therapist actually gave me that broke me into tears, was she asked me to go off with intentionality and ask someone to get me a plant. And it was so hard for me to do that I cried for a week before I actually managed to do this homework. And the only reason why I did this homework was because I am very stereotypically Asian, and you do not do your homework. That's the only reason why I actually managed to do this homework. So asking for help is very, very difficult for me. I can tell you that ways to support me as a writer is to read my books. And if you enjoy them, share how much you loved them to other people to encourage them to discover my books. I have an extensive backlist. You can get all of my indie projects directly from me off my website digitally, via Shopify. And any of my trad works you can find where retail digital is on sale, as well as in libraries. So however that support comes from, whether, because there is no greater power to uplifting the creators you love than the trust of a recommendation from a friend. All of the marketing in the world cannot beat recommendations from friends. So if you enjoy a work of mine, it doesn't have to be all of my work, because I do write across a broad range. If you have a favorite scene, if you have a favorite book of mine, a favorite story of mine, a favorite short story of mine, and you share it with a friend, you tell a friend, hey, get this because it's amazing. There's nothing more powerful than that.
And
So
if people want to shower you with praise, how do they best reach out to you to do that?
you can leave reviews, and my assistant collects the most positive feel good ones for me in a little folder. And sometimes we share them out to the public, but mostly they're in a folder for me to read when I need a little bit of cheering up. And also, being, gushing about it on TikTok, on social media is always great. I just had the biggest compliment from the Library Journal in the fact there was a book, and there will be a giveaway later this month. If you follow my socials, I'll be posting it, where a new debut or not debut, but a new novel coming out. The Library Journal said, for those who loved Piper J. Drake's Mythwoven series, like Wings Once Cursed and Bound, you will love this book. And that was the biggest compliment and made me feel so amazing. Like my heart almost burst out of my chest because I had no idea who this author was, but whoever this was that reviewed her book said, if you like this and comped my title, then you will like this person's book. And I was just like, ah. So those kinds of comps from anybody. You don't have to be someone that's a reviewer in some publication. You could just be someone who's saying, hey, friend, I've got the story that you're hungry for.
Yes.
That you can do
Yes.
online on any social medias or at home. Or some of my favorites are like people who have just been like at school, college, hopefully not high school, because my stuff is not YA. Sorry. Like,
No,
I'm
it's
not to
grown-ups.
say
It's
that.
a very mature 16.
All right. Well, I have to say, for those of you who might be familiar with Jacqueline Carey, I have had the wondrous opportunity to be on panel with Jacqueline Carey and have also had pancakes with her after. And you know, we did very naughty things with maple syrup when it came to, but safely in the restaurant, like nothing completely inappropriate, but still sassy. Madame Askew is now inaudible with her laughter there. But Jacqueline Carey's Kushiel Dart series, Kushiel's Dart, is iconic for me. The 3 original books in the trilogy. And that actually, I got to tell Jacqueline, was a rec from my 16-year-old little brother to my mother, who then wrecked it to me in graduate school. And Jacqueline was horrified because it was a 16-year-old little boy in high school who wrecked it to his family.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh
Kushiel's Dart. The concept of an anguisette from a 16-year-old boy in high school who loves fantasy. That is fantastic. The only thing better I could do is introduce them one day because he is an adult now.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Listen, I love those books and I love this story so much. But absolutely, your books are not YA. They are, however, marvelous. And I
you.
personally have followed you through your contemporary romance, into your steampunk, into your cozy, and I'm obsessed with Mythwoven. Everyone knows that now. I'm obsessed. It's like so my flavor. I'm excited for everything you are working on right now, Piper. Everyone, if you have not picked up one of Piper's books, treat yourself. There is a flavor for you. Go check them out. But you should definitely read the Mythwoven books so we can gossip about them. Just saying.
If we want to do a read along, let us know.
We're making
that
plans.
will help us
We're making
decide.
plans. We're making
We
plans.
are making
to do a
plans.
reread. We're making plans. There's many plans in the mode, and I've got to tell you, this is not the last time you've seen Piper J. Drake. She's going to be on this show for as much as she can stand. So
Yes.
You're going to see my hair evolution through all of it. My goodness,
Yes.
my hair has been evolving this year so much.
I mean, as I said before, you're really giving us some cyberpunk realness. So that's all we need.
I was delighted to find that the
Madam
shape of my
Askew-
head worked for this.
It does. It does.
You look stunning.
Madam Askew, it is time for the dramatic ending,
is-
which we do
it's
with
correct.
expediency before Lord
I will.
Aspen devours
Yes.
all of the food and leaves me a hungry, hungry boy.
I will do it in 60 seconds or less. So, my darlings, this was our return to tea. We will be back next week and the week after. But in the meantime, it's very important that you remember to treasure yourselves as we treasure you. If you can't get to an onsen, do something nice for yourself. Have a good cup of tea.
Works.
Right? Put on a tiara. Go out and do something lovely because we all need to be seizing the day and doing something lovely. So we'll see you next time, and the Grand Arbiter is going to see us out.
It's not goodbye. It's see you later. Next time, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Cheers.